Aloha and welcome to my last lecture. And we are covering chapter 14, which is professional development. Professional development is the process in which an employee becomes proficient at the job he or she is doing and, if desired, prepares for responsibilities in future positions. Ongoing professional development accomplishes several objectives. For example, it helps us maintain our current position. All professionals have an obligation to constantly update their skill set. Secondly, it provides mobility. Professional development, or what we also call PD, enriches individuals, gives them a higher degree of professionalism, and increases their employment options. And thirdly, it makes promotions possible. PD activities help us develop the skill sets that we will need to secure more advanced positions. In most cases, it is not a lack of interest that prevents supervisors from taking ownership in their employees' professional development planning and opportunities. Rather, it is most often a lack of time, knowledge, or skill. Professionals in the industry can learn from nearly everyone they come in contact with, even if it is learning how not to do something. They can learn through observation, conversation, experience, training, and attendance at professional meetings and a variety of other job-specific learning options. Fostering a mentor relationship can greatly accelerate professional development. Mentoring is a formal or informal relationship in which an experienced staff member provides advice to a less experienced staff member. Good mentors act as a coach, advisor, teacher, and role model. They provide feedback about performance and encourage their mentees' development. When mentorship programs are in place, the mentor benefits because of improved self-esteem, an enhanced reputation of wanting to assist, and because he or she will likely learn from the experience. The benefits for someone who is being mentored really include an opportunity to learn more about the organization's culture, experience higher levels of job satisfaction, increase knowledge and skills, and receive encouragement, advice, and feedback. The hospitality organization benefits from a mentorship program because employees will be better aligned with the organization's culture, and there will be higher levels of employee job satisfaction, and some performance problems may also be addressed. There is a difference between a supervisor or a boss who coaches an employee about his or her job-related skills and knowledge, and a mentor who helps support the employee's relationship with the organization and with professional development. Many observers suggest that one's own supervisor should actually not serve as his or her mentor, because doing so may limit the topics discussed and the advice provided. In some cases, a supervisor or boss may not even want to help advance the career of a valuable employee who may be lost to the boss because of that employee's increased ability to advance his or her own career. Some mentoring relationships last decades beyond when the two individuals met and beyond the walls of the organization at which they were employed. A great tribute to a mentor occurs when the mentee becomes a mentor to someone else, and in doing so, gives back to the profession by helping the next generation of young professionals. To set professional development goals, professionals must first determine what they want to do, decide how good they are at doing it now, decide how good they want to get, and determine how good their supervisor needs them to get. In our textbook on page 371, it shows a sample tool that can be used to help assess strengths and needs in core supervisory competencies. After the self-assessment has been completed, Feedback must be gathered. The practice of soliciting feedback from immediate supervisors, peers, and employees is called a 360-degree feedback. Feedback will help verify an individual's skills and needs, as well as help identify the organization's needs now and in the foreseeable future. When supervisors know the areas in which they need to improve, have measurable goals, and have assigned priorities, they can use a 6-step process to create a detailed development plan designed to successfully achieve their goals. The best objectives are difficult to attain, but they often lead to heightened performance so long as they are attainable. They are specific and measurable rather than vague, and they provide feedback about performance because individuals are motivated to work harder if they know about the progress they are making towards their objectives. And they are attainable because professionals must possess or gain the abilities and skills required to reach their goals. The second step needed to create an action plan is to get motivated. Sometimes it is helpful to devise a plan or divide a plan into smaller, more reasonable attempts and steps. Secondly, ask other people to test assumptions, identify areas of priority, and provide feedback on progress. To enhance their continuing motivation, supervisors can enlist the aid of colleagues, direct reports, mentors, supervisors, leads, even human resources staff, and family and friends and role models. The third step in the professional development planning process is determining the learning activities that need to take place. And it's important to recognize that determining how a person learns can be just as important as determining what the person must learn. So remember in chapter 4, the text addressed the fact that we learn differently. We are visual learners, where we may prefer by reading. We may use highlighters when reading, making short notes or rewriting notes. We may also be auditory learners, where we prefer to learn by hearing. We may record notes or listen without taking notes. And the last one is the tactile learner. We are physically involved by doing. We may copy notes more than once. We may alternate sitting and moving while studying, or we may take notes during a session to concentrate. Some ways to become more competent while participating in professional development programs include on-the-job activities, interacting with other people, and off-the-job educational opportunities. On-the-job learning activities may include requesting delegated assignments, volunteering to serve on cross-functional teams, or managing new or existing projects. Supervisors can learn from other people by joining or leading community groups, interacting with a mentor, or requesting cross-training opportunities. Off-the-job experiences include attending workshops and training courses, taking adult education or distance education courses, and reading trade magazines. The fourth step in the action plan is to establish a timetable, deadlines, and proper measurements. Timetables should include steps to accomplish at various intervals, and completion dates for each goal and checkpoints for each objective should be identified and scheduled. The fifth step in an action plan is to identify needed resources. Most learning activities require some level of resources like money, equipment, or other people's support and time. And the last step in an action plan is to anticipate barriers and constraints. Barriers can be external or even internal. Barriers could be that in which you have little or no control. They include challenges in economic environment within the organization and from other people. The internal barriers are those which a person has the most control of. They consist of personal resistance to development, such as lack of discipline, fear of the unknown, or lack of an education, or knowledge or skills. Activities helpful to execute a professional development plan include making daily investments, finding new ways to improve, gathering feedback, minimizing defensiveness, overcoming barriers, and monitoring progress. Professional development is an ongoing process. When a person has accomplished a goal, he or she should acknowledge it, share their progress with others who are important to them, and reward themselves in some tangible way. If supervisors are not successful in achieving their goals, they should analyze the reasons why, develop new or revise strategies and action plans, set new goals, or rewrite current ones to focus on future achievement. So that's all for chapter 14. Thanks for listening.